Hello and welcome back to my Dinar Daily YouTube channel. Let's start the today information. Receipts for your IQD are not needed at all. Currencies act the same way as a bearer bond. The holder is assumed to be the owner. No currency exchange has ever required receipts for the conversion. Validation and verification is all that is necessary. Is the currency valid or not? Meaning, is the currency counterfeit? Verification means, is the currency a true currency issued by Iraq and bearing a serial number in the Iraqi database? This is verified by a Dinar machine which is connected to the CBI database. The number one thing we're looking to see. April 11th, that they hold a parliament session and put the president to vote. That's what we want to see happen. Let's say they complete the president. That's one critical step. The next would be the prime minister. They could extend Sudani's and his cabinet's political term, completing the entire government Saturday. That is huge if they do that. You have no idea how significant that is. They're stating April 11th there is no intention to delay to postpone the president under any circumstances. They're also stating Maliki is most likely out and Sudani is in. Iraq thanks Iran for allowing all tankers to pass through Hormuz. Iraq is one of the most affected by the closure of the strait, as its oil production fell from about 3.5 million barrels per day to about 1.3 million barrels per day, while exports fell to about 800,000 barrels per day due to the disruption of shipping traffic through the strait. The port of Seyhan route is highly important right now, and the current Hormuz pressure is accelerating recognition of its value because of Hormuz. Iraq is benefiting from it. This doesn't mean an immediate transformation move on the dinar rear. It doesn't mean it's going to happen today. But it materially strengthens the fundamentals towards export resilience, non-oil revenue potential and prudent management credentials. Iraq is showing the deeper global financial integration is still moving forward. I like it. It's steady. It's uplifting data to consider. Iran turned the electricity back on for Iraq in a show of brotherhood. This happened in time for the US to threaten to destroy Iran's electricity grid. We're all very concerned about this, because if electricity grid in Iran is destroyed, that means Iraq goes in the dark. Iraq went from producing 3.3 million barrels of oil to about 900,000 barrels of oil per day. That's about a 70% decrease in oil. That's a very large problem if 80% of your country's revenue is through oil. They don't even have the capability to borrow money to make up the difference because they don't have a parliament in place. They constitutionally can't borrow money without a functioning government. Even though this sounds like Iraq is screwed, I think this is actually going to play right into their hands in a positive way, because they're being forced to find alternative methods to export their oil. Land routes. Iraq desperately needs to form a government and the 2026 budget to secure salaries. They have been using temporary funding without their oil and need to get their government set. They are expected between now and April 11th to seat the president and within days the prime minister. I can't tell you for sure. We had rates on the screens couple days ago. We had some new rates on the screens. Everything's looking good on all your currencies. So, we're waiting for a lot of cool stuff to happen this month, and maybe even the first part of this week. It seems we could see some movement for the completion of the Iraqi election in April and the US and Israel ending this military action against Iran. April and May could be interesting months to watch. We know the CBI has told us that they fully intend to move on down the road on the currency reform, but the elections and Iranian conflict is holding them back. Remember that Iraq needs a high level of stability and security to reinstate. We might not have to wait for the dust to settle with the war in Iran. The revaluation might happen in the midst of the chaos when everyone's looking over here. This is happening behind the scenes with Iraq. That very well could be the play here. I believe we are very close to seeing the fruition of the dinar come forth. I'm not saying it's going to happen this month, but I think we are on a good track to see some major movement. We're watching it unfold right before our eyes. Iran just exempted Iraq from every restriction on the Strait of Hormuz. 5 nations got passage rights: China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and Iraq. 4 of them are allies. Iraq is the only one that shares a border with Iran while hosting the coalition actively bombing it. The country providing the staging ground for airstrikes against Tehran just received a free shipping lane from the country being struck. Iran called Iraq brotherly while bombing Kuwait and Bahrain. A positive appearance. Exchange rate stability reflects the strength of reserves and the flow of goods. Quote, the financial advisor to the Prime Minister, Mazhar Mohammad Salah, confirmed on Saturday that the stability of exchange rates in the local market reflects positive indicators, while pointing out that the strength of reserves and the accumulation of commodity stock contributed to reducing the fluctuations of the parallel market. Iraq's political process remains in a deliberate holding pattern. The presidential vote has been postponed again, with the next scheduled session now set for April 11th. The government formation is still stalled in the caretaker phase under the Prime Minister Sadani, with no meaningful progress on naming a new Prime Minister or cabinet since November 2025 elections. At the same time, strong U.S. opposition to Maliki returning as a Prime Minister has created significant friction. The system remains stable. There is no immediate crisis forcing a rushed deal. Steady and deliberate is the current approach.